just want to make sure we have the microphones.
Okay, he's gonna give you what he's feeling right now and his opinion regarding the bond and the amount that was set and the fact that he's out on bond, which we kind of predicted that, but he wants to share his emotions on that particular issue. And then we're gonna just go through very, very quickly just some of the issues why we have 14 deaths in our community where children have either been shot or killed in the last 5 months. And I think we're setting a bad precedent in our community from the judicial system if we're placing a $100,000 bond on the life of a child who has been murdered. So we don't think that the two coincide or correlate, and that's what he's very, very upset about right now. So he wants to be able to voice that. We also have an audio recording of Senator Alvarado. We'll get to all that. Contacted mom, who also had an office in that same bank building, believe it or not, 2900 Woodridge, and she moved. And she tells mom that she moved because she felt unsafe. It was a sketchy area, and it's not someplace that she wanted to be. So we're just going to go through some of those highlights, and we have the video too of the where you can actually hear the gunfire. It was down the street, taken from an apartment complex, and you can hear the discharge of the 12 rounds go off, which essentially, in our opinion, is nothing more than evidence of intent, recklessness, and it goes right to the underlying issue that this was in fact a murder. So that's what we're going to go over just briefly.
So how do we start? Do we
Just go.
All right, guys. I'm here on behalf of Arlene Alvarez. As we all know, what happened to my daughter. She passed away Monday in my arms after a shooting. I do not wish this on nobody. I'm pissed off right now that this person that killed my daughter is out in public right now. I want to know why and who is in charge of releasing these people out in the streets. It's not only my child. It could be your child, anybody's child. I hate seeing, man, I love kids. Not just mine, anybody's kids. I hate seeing people harm kids because it's not their fault. You know, we got guns landing on wrong hands because why? The judicial people are letting these people out. For what? It was a $10,000 bond. It was increased to $100,000. This person shouldn't have no bond. You take a life, you give a life. Period. He took my daughter's life. You know, it was Tuesday when they took the machines off my daughter at 3:30 p.m. I know those numbers by heart. Those are numbers. I remember when she died, I know everything. So how long does it take for you guys to update those statuses from aggravated assault to a murder as fast as you can inmate a person? How long does it take to change those information? It's a click away. Just as the way we have phones, we have social media, it's a click away. Okay? It's not just about me again, other kids. Got another kid died today at an apartment complex, another 4-year-old. Gun. How many kids do you have to die? Are you going to wait till he's your kid and then you're going to be like, oh, now I know how this guy feels? It ain't right. You got this person out on the streets right now. So you're going to tell me he's not a threat to the community? To your community, not just mine? You know, I want to do something about it, but I can't. My hands are tied because I have to be here and I still have kids and I still have a wife to feed. If I do something, I go to jail, and then I'm the bad guy, right? Then I'm the bad guy. He's the bad guy. He should be in jail. But there is not, it wasn't no, I got videos of this person, of the person that started this crime, running away from the scene. It clearly shows he didn't have $20 in his hand. It wasn't no damn $20. He had more than $20. He had drugs. He had something, drug deal gone wrong. That person knows that other person, I guarantee you. How did this guy come up with $10,000 to get bond. How did this person get the money to come out?
They both
You know,
had hoodies on too.
he's claiming, how did he come out with this money after, he's claiming that he was broke and mentally ill. Come on, guys, you guys gonna believe that? But you're not mentally ill to hold the gun? Am I wrong? So these are the answers that I want as a father. Any other father would do the same thing. I get messages of other people that, they're not able to send out the message to these people like I can right now. And I'm gonna I'll make sure that this message goes out that, after 2-3 weeks, these judicial system they forget about it, they just throw it under the table. Whose job is it? What are you getting paid for? That's your job, to take care of us, but you ain't doing nothing. Sitting back in that desk, when we're out here, we're living our lives. We're living in this system. It's who's to blame? And I say it's the judicial system. It's people that are letting these people out, criminals out on bonds, that somebody selling dope gets $500,000 to $600,000 bonds. They sell drugs to people that decide to take drugs. That's on them. But then you get guys that take a life and get $10,000 bonds. Come on, guys. You got to fix this. What if this person tonight kills another person? He's out. He lives in my area, in my home. You think I want to be in my house right now? I can't go home because then maybe I'll do something stupid. Okay, guys?
He is very passionate. As you can see, the family's going through a lot. There's a lot of anger in their tone, but they also understand one concept, or one good thing that's coming out of this, is that they're using this tragedy of the loss of their daughter as a platform. And the platform is, we've had 14 children in our community either shot or killed in the last 5 months due to gun violence. And the issue for this family is, how are we going to set a $100,000 bond on a murderer? And it was a murder because we're going to go ahead and provide you with the actual film of an empty clip of 12 shots that was shot and fired by this individual. You can hear it. You want to play it? And I can show you on the board because you can listen to it. And what it does is it just shows you the intent. What they did at the bond hearing was, just listen to it. You can hear it plain. That was it. That's very important, because that's not one shot or two shots after somebody robs you and you're then trying to retrieve property. Obviously, it's not a self-defense issue. This guy emptied out an entire clip, emptied out half that clip on this family and killed their daughter. So you have an intentional act. The judge has already agreed with this concept because it's probable cause. The second thing that he tried to do was he was trying to lower the bond. So what he did was he filled out an affidavit, placed himself as an indigent with a mental health issue, said he didn't have the money to go ahead and pay it, yet he went ahead and hired a private attorney. The judge denied his request to lower the bond, and in 30 seconds later, he makes bond because he's a liar. He's a criminal. So that's what they do. He had the ability to do so. But the amount of the bond, the $100,000, does not correlate with the moral values in our community, which is to protect our children. Our children are everything. So what we're sending a message out here to these criminals is, a child is absolutely worth nothing. It's $10,000. It's a $100,000 bond for killing a child. There's 14 of them dead in the last 5 months. If you killed a child in this community, and it was by intentional act, and it was reckless in nature, and we can show that on the probable cause hearing, you should have no bond. I think that should be the position of the state in this county as it relates to the murder of our children, because they're being murdered every day. Every day is another one, and another one, and another one. And it's not going to stop until there's a hardline position from the judiciary and really the district attorney's office not to allow someone to be able to go ahead and set the bond at the magistrate hearing, at the bond hearing for $100,000 with a guy that could have easily made the bond. So it's not just the fact of whether or not he can pay it or not, it also has to coincide with the actual crime. So I think that's what's upsetting to him. And we have a video and an audio recording of Senator Alvarado, who contacted Mom yesterday regarding the violence at this location, which was the bank building. And in that phone call, this is what she said to Mom in regards to the bank. So there you have your state senator contacting Mom and sharing with Mom the fact that she was fully aware that this premises where the shots rang from that killed their daughter was in fact a dangerous condition on a premise, which means it had crime ring, sketchy, that's the word that she uses, and she was concerned for her own safety and she left the building. So what you're starting to see is a pattern here, especially with that particular premises as it relates to crime. And the statistics are, again, extremely high. There are more and more people coming forward. We had 2 now females that have come forward. We're getting statements from them that they were in fact abducted by gunpoint at the bank and then taken to their individual homes in the neighborhood and robbed. It's ongoing. And, you know, it's not something that you have to sit here and look very hard at it. I mean, the phone is ringing, and these people are actually coming forward now, primarily because, you know, we have a platform where his family is actually getting to share their grief and actually tell you or make a plea to the community and to the judiciary to please set things right. Make things right. Make our community great again, and please just protect our children. I think that's the message here today. Protect our children. Mom, did you want to say anything?
Say something about him being out.
I've been going through a emotional roller coaster. I can't even talk. I can't believe that I'm shopping around for my baby's grave. It's something that I never thought I would ever go through. And I've been getting a lot of messages from a lot of moms that haven't had no justice for all these kids that are getting killed. And I think that it's unbelievable how all these evil people are out with a bond. And I feel like he has taken a big part of me, and I could talk big.
It's okay, do your best.
I'm just so empty. We're gonna make a difference. I want to make a difference. We're gonna make a difference for all these parents that nobody pays attention to them. I feel like he needs to be in jail. Both of them. I don't know what to say. I'm just.
I think it's upsetting, and I think it's upsetting her. Primarily, another issue that we have is the social economic background where our kids are being killed. You know, these neighborhoods are not high-end neighborhoods, but they're still our children. I mean, they deserve our attention. They deserve justice. They deserve a proper bond on the criminal that actually went ahead and committed the murder. So what we're asking for is for fair treatment across the board for every single one of our children that's being killed out here in our community on a daily basis. And Dad is upset, and I can let him say a couple more things, because I know he's upset and he just wants to just share that with y'all and just let it out.
I'm good. That's all I got to say. Let's not wait for the next murder, especially tonight. Okay, guys, let's get this shit figured out. That's all I got.
Thank you, y'all.
We know that this person bonded out on the lesser charges. I think a lot of people were expecting or hoping that there would be another charge after Arlene's death. How do you kind of deal with the fact that right now there is no one charged with her murder?
Exactly, and that's where this is the reason why I'm here, is to get the message. How would you feel? I don't know if you have kids or not, I'm sorry. How would you feel the person that murdered your child is out on bond? How would you guys feel?
Disculpen, sabemos que se siente es un momento muy difícil para ustedes. De pronto, si pudieran compartir algo de lo que han dicho en español.
Let me ask, how would you feel, Like I said, my daughter died Tuesday, according to, going by office doctors, they have to put that in paper. It's 3 p.m. How long does it take for you to change that status? It's a click away, guys. Just as we got these smartphones, we got all this information, we have all this technology. How long does it take to change the status from aggravated assault to a murder?
And
it does not take long, guys.
We do understand it's a process. The DA's office has to investigate the matter through their investigators. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're doing a good job, and we're providing the information that we do have to them. What we're seeking is that once that charge is enhanced to a murder, that then bond him.
So you foresee that?
We foresee that. We foresee that. They're going to do their job. They're going to do what they're supposed to do. They have plenty of evidence. They're looking at it. They're viewing it. They want to make sure when they do it, it's going to stick. But we want a no bond. Once it's enhanced, then no bond the individual that went ahead and murdered the child in our community with a family that was doing absolutely nothing except being law-abiding. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know.
Talk about the surveillance video you showed us again. What leads you to believe these 12, you said 12 shots?
Yes, ma'am.
Came from Mr. Earls. Is that what you're alleging?
Because I saw it with my own eyes.
We both saw it.
We both sides. It was either going to be me or her. The four, I can walk you down that scene. The first 4 or 5 shots, they were aiming towards the front of my truck. The last 4, straight towards my truck. With one of those last 4 killed my daughter.
Answer your question, so we got a timestamp on it. That's how I can show you, because it happened at the same time that the murder happened.
Yes.
So his testimony coincides with the shots and the amount of rounds that actually came out of that pistol. That's how we know. So that's why we're correlating the evidence with the eyewitness accounts that were there. So like that, you can tie the two together, and that's what we're putting forward and saying, look, it's clean and clear intent. Somebody's fleeing now as a robber. No longer are you in threat of imminent fear for your life and that of your property. You're in a retreat position. Somebody pulls a gun on you, chases you essentially, okay? Pulls the gun and then discharges the firearm. Not just in your direction, but someone else's direction. And it's not one shot to protect yourself if you thought you were in fear of danger. You went ahead and emptied out the clip. 4 shots went into that truck. 4, not just one. That's once you establish the fact that he was no longer an imminent threat of fear or for his life, then it becomes intentional, it becomes reckless, and then the amount of shots fired tells you whether or not there was reckless intent to cause bodily injury or death. And that's exactly what happened in this case. That's why we're saying no bond.
With all that considered, is there any consideration now, I guess, of a civil suit?
The civil suit is, I mean, like I like to say, we're cooking it. We're making it, but there's always something new that's coming up that helps this case, such as the audio tape that we have from the senator that called mom. Also, a tenant at the building who herself was fully aware of the sketchy activity and the foot traffic, and that the bank needed to step up their game. She didn't feel safe there. It's not enough. All these things are part of the evidence that we have to produce. In the state of Texas now, when you file a lawsuit, within 30 days of your defendant answering, you better have a piece of evidence, documents, audio recordings to be able to back up your filing of your lawsuit. You have to conduct a due diligence investigation. That's why it's necessary to do it that way. And when we file it, it's because it means something. Not because we're filing 5 pieces of paper because we want to get on the news. You know, this is for their kid. So it's important to do it right. But it's something that, you know, we're going to be very proud of, but it's got teeth to it.
We're not only speaking for us, we're speaking for other people. Other people that if you can wait 3 a week, I've got a message from the person that little girl got shot 22 times, and now she has no press over it. Now it's thrown under the rug. It could happen to me. I could be that person. And next week, everybody goes back to their normal life. I don't. She don't. I continue that messed up life. After a week, I guarantee everybody goes back to normal. We don't. We stay and still wondering if this guy's caught or not. He's out right now. He's sleeping good in his bed. My wife doesn't sleep at night. How is that fair? My daughter's not sleeping in her bed, and she sleeps probably in a better place than we are now, but she's not at home.
Ahora sí, un par de palabras en español. ¿Qué es lo que han venido a hacer hoy? A contarnos hoy.
¿Mande?
¿Qué es lo que ha venido a decirnos hoy?
Es de darle el mensaje por esta persona que ha salido. Él salió hoy a las 4 p.m. Él salió, él ya ha puesto un bond. ¿Por qué esta gente no ha cambiado from aggravated assault? Ha cambiado a murder. Mi hija está muerta, no está aquí. ¿Por qué está aquí afuera? Él está en su casa, acostado en su cama, durmiéndose bien. Mi hija no está aquí, ella no duerme bien. No es justo.
Usted me decía que ha recibido que esto no solamente es para usted, para su familia, sino también para la comunidad.
Esto no es para mí tampoco, es para otra gente que han pasado por lo mismo. En una semana, a todos ustedes se les van a olvidar lo que está pasando, lo que las policías, el judicio, ellos no están haciendo su trabajo. En una semana ya muere otra persona y luego lo traen otra vez.
¿Cómo se sienten ustedes que son varios niños, ¿no?, que están pasando por esto aquí?
Son muchos niños ahorita, 14 niños en un mes.
5 meses.
En 5 meses, 14 niños. Hoy, a las 2, por la mañana murió otro niño de 4 años en apartamentos. Otro niño. ¿Qué van a esperar? ¿Que seas tu niño? ¿Y luego van a estar aquí conmigo? Teniendo los mismos sentidos que yo tengo y mi señora tiene ahorita. ¿Qué están esperando? Hay que hacer algo. No tengan miedo de esta gente.
Señor, ¿usted cómo se siente pues al ver este video que han compartido el día de hoy? Vi que pues sentimientos encontrados, ¿no?
Estoy enojado, como mira. No es algo que yo le pido a ningún papá, mamá. Lo que yo vi, lo que yo estoy pasando. Yo nunca pensé que iba a estar aquí hablando con ustedes, mandando este mensaje. Yo he trabajado en mi vida. Todo es lo que hago. No vengo aquí a que quiero ser alguien. Yo nomás quiero mandar el mensaje que hay que arreglar este problema que tenemos.
Abogado, brevemente, ¿en qué proceso está todo?
La demanda la vamos a poner. Tuvimos un mensaje, una grabación con la senadora Alvarado. La mamá tuvo una conversación. La senadora también era un tenant que estaba en el mismo building, en el Chase Bank, donde pasó el incidente. Y también le dijo a la mamá que ese lugar, ese banco, no era bueno, que tenía crimen, que no se sentía bien. Por eso mudó la oficina de ella, que estaba ahí, después que mataron a Mary Jane, y se mudó a otro lugar, porque tampoco se sentía bien quedándose ahí, porque veía el peligro que podía pasar si se quedaba la oficina ahí.
Ahora, ¿qué van a hacer con los cargos? ¿Qué están buscando? ¿Que se aumenten los cargos?
Los cargos, estamos buscando que se ponga ahora que sea asesino o asesinamiento de la niña. Ahora lo que tiene es un asalto, ¿ok? agredido, tiene que ser eso en otro punto o lo tienen que escalar más. Escalando quiere decir que lo tienen que poner en el círculo de asesino. Cuando lo ponen asesino, entonces cambia el bond. Después que cambie el bond, lo que queremos es que no haya bond. Que digan que no puede, que no hay dinero que lo puede sacar de la cárcel. Que se tiene que quedar ahí hasta que tengan el juicio. ¿Lo entiende? Porque este hombre es peligroso para la comunidad y para los niños.
Una última pregunta. ¿Ustedes cómo se sienten que este hombre pudo salir de la cárcel y, pues, como decía usted, está ahorita en su casa?
Exactamente. No es bien, no está bien. Significa que no estamos haciendo algo bien. No nomás yo, la gente de la judicial, no están haciendo su trabajo. Ellos nomás están sentados atrás y haciendo nada. Yo así lo digo y lo voy a decir así.
I have another quick question about the person who we saw in surveillance video today, the release from the police department. They've identified this person as the suspected robber. Is there a desire to see this person obviously caught and charged with murder as well, and is that legally
Oh,
possible?
yes.
Everybody,
Everybody has to go.
down to from the person that started it, down to the person that shot my daughter. I know for a fact this guy, the shooter, knows that other guy. I know for a fact. I probably could, that's it. I can't say anything.
We want to emphasize the fact that the video clearly shows the similarities of the crimes that have occurred on that premises. You have a individual dressed with a dark suit. Mary Jane's killer had a black hoodie on. You have pistols being used, armed robberies at the actual ATM machine. You have guns fired at the ATM machine. This crime activity is taking place after 9 p.m. at that particular ATM, along with the criminal history that has taken place at that specific location over the last 24 months. What it does is it reveals to you even the behavior from the criminal when you see him jumping the fence. They're not afraid. I mean, he scaled that wall knowing, hey, I'm going to jump this, and nobody's going to catch me on the other side of it because apparently I've done this before. And whatever he had in his hand looked like maybe a brick and a gun, but, you can't really tell, but he had a pistol for sure. So what we're looking at is this crime that's centralized right at the Chase Bank building, where it is just an ongoing dangerous condition in the community that is drawing these criminals to continue to commit more and more crimes. And we have 2 murders in 5 months, and one of them, killed their little girl. And the private sector doesn't have to protect every person, but you have a duty and a responsibility of foreseeability. When you see that this is occurring on your premises to the point where it's escalating, and you have murders, and it's all over the media, and you're on notice, and you're not, like the senator said, and you're not taking enough steps, you're not stepping up your game, then you know what happens? Their daughter got killed. That's what happened. So that's what we're looking at right now.
But it is legally possible that the DA could arrest
It's
that
legally
person.
possible. They'll probably try them separately. That's the way they should do it. But you know what? It's a lot because one person went ahead and put a sequence of events in place that actually caused the murder. So I think when you look at it, that's what you're looking at as far as the murder. You had 2 individuals that really are responsible for the crime of killing one little girl. So
You're
yes.
right. What can the bank do that they're not doing right now?
The bank could do so many things that they're not doing. One of the things they could have done is they could have easily either hired a off-duty police officer to serve, maybe on certain days and maybe certain days not. They could have maybe not offer a 24-hour service of the ATM machine that's associated with the bank. If you cannot protect individuals that come to use the premises, then don't offer the service, because you're inviting criminal activity onto the premises by having a bank which cash transactions from an ATM machine in a place where you have a high crime area. So don't offer the service. If you are going to offer the service, then hire a private patrol service. You are JP Morgan Chase Bank, billion-dollar company. I think you can afford to hire somebody to do that for you, especially at that location. If you give at least the presence of an individual person that has the cloak of authority, or at least the appearance of it, maybe a criminal is less likely to come onto that premises to go commit the crime. And it could have probably, more likely than not, saved their little girl, because one guy would have never tried to rob the other. That caused a sequence of events of a shootout over a robbery at that same location. So there's a million things you could do. You can case it off completely by glass. They do it here. Take your ATM card. You have to go ahead and show it, scan it, opens the door, and now you get into a closed-in location with a bulletproof glass. Doesn't get any better than that. These are all the things you could do, and they're being instituted by other banks. So, I mean, they're not just way behind. They have done very little once Mary Jane was killed to assess their security plan, okay, in order to make adjustments that were to prevent foreseeable, unreasonable risk of harm to the community. Period. End of story. That's what happened.
I know unfortunately your daughter is not the first, and not even the first this month. When you talk about children being shot. I've heard from Ashanti Grant's grandmother, who wants to support you and your family.
Correct.
Are there details you can release about an event tomorrow? Is there a march tomorrow?
There is a march tomorrow. I'd have to pull up I got so many messages, and I'm sorry, guys, but there is a march tomorrow.
It's from the park, I think.
Would it be from, I want to say, excuse me, guys, if we could try to find it, because we got so many messages, everybody's reaching out, and that's another thing, too. I want to, go ahead and appreciate everybody that's, been still sticking together as a community. Looks like the protest, February 19th, the protest starts at 11 a.m. I'm not sure where we're starting. Like I said, I've been planning my daughter's funeral all day yesterday and today. Funeral, and
We can issue an email
Yes.
as soon as this is over. We'll let everyone know exactly where it's going to be,
Yeah.
the times that it's going to be held. And we'll give you the specifics on it. But it will be there. And the family also wants to say thank you to the community for the outreach of support, the phone calls,
Exactly.
just really just people just caring and calling the family and expressing just how poorly they feel about what happened to them. So
Right.
we're very thankful for that as well.
Have you heard from Chase Bank?
no.
Condolences, that's what they said.
They released
They
that statement
contacted
to
you
us.
directly?
No,
They released that statement.
they released a statement. It's always a control press release. Our condolences. Billion-dollar company. How about getting an off-duty police officer?
Probably not even still not out. There's nobody out there right now. Any more questions?